Today, we're going to talk about how to actually make learning stick, in a world that is just overflowing with distractions. So let's dive right into how we can all learn a little more effectively.
So, let me ask you this. Ever sit down, you open a book, and then like 5 minutes later, you find yourself just staring out the window, thinking about literally anything but what you're supposed to be studying? Sound familiar? It's so frustrating when it feels like the information just isn't sticking, right?
Okay, so at its core, this is basically a battle between two forces, right? On one side, you've got concentration. Just, focusing your mind on one thing. And on the other side, distraction. That's the moment you lose that focus. So the real question is, how do we actually strengthen our concentration and win this battle?
Well, the answer might not be to just try harder. It might actually be to try smarter. So let's talk about this approach called smart learning. It's got some really powerful solutions for how to study more effectively in today's world.
So what is smart learning exactly? Well, think of it as a method that uses modern tools to completely transform studying. It goes from being this, passive chore into an active, super engaging experience. We're talking about using everything, digital apps, songs, stories, all to make lessons more interesting, and here's the key, way more effective.
So what's the secret sauce here? What makes this approach actually work? Well, it's built on a few key ideas. First, it has to be interactive. You've got to take part in it. Second, it's got to be meaningful. It needs to have a real purpose. It connects what you're learning to your actual life. And finally, it combines fun with education, proving that, those two things don't have to be separate. All right, let's get into our first big example and see how this works in the real world, using games for learning. Now, I know it might just sound like fun and games, but the research shows it's actually a super powerful mental workout. And you can see the benefits really clearly. Studies show that educational games are amazing at fighting distraction because they improve your concentration. They keep you motivated by, tapping into your brain's natural reward system. And this part is absolutely key. They help you develop real, practical problem-solving skills. So this isn't just about memorizing facts anymore. It's about training your brain how to think.
And this really brings us to the golden rule, right? The magic happens when the fun and the education actually meet in the middle. A game that's all fun but teaches you nothing, that's kind of just a waste of time. And a game that's all education but zero fun, well, come on, that's just a textbook in disguise, isn't it?
Okay, next up, let's talk about one of the oldest and honestly most powerful learning tools we've ever had as humans, stories and songs. This is all about tapping into that natural love for a good story to make information really, really stick.
And what's so powerful here is that stories do way more than just help us memorize stuff. They actually build our ability to empathize, to really understand what other people are feeling. And look, this isn't just some soft skill. It's an absolutely crucial part of emotional intelligence and, frankly, of truly understanding anything. Just look at this huge range of benefits. Stories and songs, they teach us about values, about different cultures. They naturally improve our core language skills, both reading and speaking. They even help build our confidence. And at the end of the day, they just make the whole learning process feel more meaningful and connected to who we are.
Okay, so we've covered some really powerful techniques. But here's the thing, smart learning is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Not at all. The really important next step is building a personal strategy that works specifically for you. So let's look at a few options here. You got flashcards. They're fantastic for memorizing words and definitions, classic for a reason. If you're a visual learner, drawing diagrams can be a total game changer. Oh, and here's one of my personal favorites, explaining a concept to a friend. If you can teach it, you really understand it. You can even use song lyrics to help you learn with rhythm.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. Don't just go and copy what someone else is doing. You have to experiment. Mix and match these different methods because the best approach, plain and simple, is the one that just clicks with your brain for whatever you're trying to learn.
So how do you actually build that strategy? It's a pretty simple 4-step process. Step 1, set clear, achievable goals. Step 2, make a study schedule. Get your time organized. Step 3, consciously choose which of those methods we just talked about you're going to use. And finally, step 4, get feedback. Ask a teacher, a friend, or even just check in with yourself to see what's working and what's not.
And this is so important to remember. You don't need a dozen complicated tricks. You really just need one consistent, smart strategy that you can stick with. Finding that one thing that works for you, it can genuinely change everything about how you learn.
And that really brings us to the core message here. It's all about a shift in mindset. The goal isn't to work harder. It's not about putting in more hours. It's to learn smarter. It's about making the hours you do spend studying way more effective, more engaging, and yeah, maybe even a little enjoyable.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. After everything we've talked about today, from games to stories to explaining things to a friend, what's the one smart technique you're going to try? Maybe even today. Because that journey to becoming a smarter learner, it all starts with that one small step.